Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our flat clear. Now we haven't really done a video on the aerosol flat clear, but we thought we'd shoot a quick little video, show you a few tips and tricks and how to master the aerosol flat clear that we have right here. Now, if you're interested in getting this, you can check out the links in the description below. We're going to have links to this to the website, so that way you can check it out. But what we've got here is a dead flat clear coat. Now, of course, in an aerosol can, this is going to be really great for just small little items or things like that. The other thing is that maybe you don't have a full paint booth or a entire paint setup with a paint gun and air compressor, so this is where the dead flat clear coat really comes in handy as well. So let's take a look at this and see what we've got. So of course we've got the aerosol can right here. Now whenever you take this off, you'll see that we do have a really nice tip on this. Now this tip is going to have a really good spray pattern on it, and you can actually twist. So if you wanted your fan pattern to go up and down, you can do that, or you can twist it and then make the fan pattern go left and right. So if you're painting something like a long piece like this right here, we might want to go left and right with it, or you can also twist it to where it goes up and down. Either way, you have the ability to do that. Now, this may be a little bit hard, so you might have to get like a pair of pliers to just barely hold it and then twist it, but it will turn. So definitely be careful with that, not to mess up anything on the tip itself. So let's talk a little bit about spraying. So if you read the instructions on the back of it, it clearly says that you do need to shake this up. Now, one thing that I will tell you is because this is a dead flat clear, we want to make sure that we shake this up really good, because we don't want any of the flattener that has settled to still stay settled. So then whenever you go to spray it, you actually get a more gloss clear, which is not what you want. You want that dead flat clear, which is what this is. And so you definitely want to shake this up really good. So once you've shook this up for about a minute or so, then you're ready to go ahead and start spraying. Now, a couple of things on the spraying: you don't want to go sideways or like this or like that. You always want to try to keep the can itself as straight up and down as possible, because there is a dip tube down here that will pull everything up and it sucks from the bottom. And so we want to make sure that as we're spraying, we always make sure that we try to keep it as straight as possible, somewhere in this range right here. So we've got a valve cover that we're going to be going ahead and clear coating, and we're going to show you guys what this ends up looking like after it's all said and done. So now that we've got all of this all shook up, we want to make sure that before we spray anything on the part, we want to check it and make sure that everything sprays out fine. So we'll come over here and then we'll do a little bit of a spray, make sure everything sprays out good. We got a good fan, everything looks good with that. And so now we're ready to spray. So whenever we're spraying, we want to do it in a lighter coat. We don't want to hammer it on. And then we also want to make sure that we sit there and we let it flash before we apply the next coat. So most of the time we're going to have about 3 coats to get a good coverage, and we do not want to apply it heavy, because if you do apply it heavy, then it may get a little bit more glossy. So we want to make sure that we apply this in a nice wet coat and then let it flash about 5 minutes, and then we apply the second coat after that. So let's go ahead, let's get our first coat applied and then continue on. As you can see, we've got really great coverage coming all the way around here. Really nice and wet coat. And now again, I'm not trying to layer it on very heavy. I just want a good wet coat. And now it will come out looking a little bit more glossy as I first spray it. But as it starts to dry, it will slowly die back to a more flatter sheen. And so once we've got that, we're gonna let it sit, let it flash, and then we'll apply the second and then third coat and on from there. Now, one thing to definitely make sure of is that as you're spraying this, you always want to make sure that you spray it in a well-ventilated area and use all the proper PPE, so that way you don't have any problems, so that way you apply this safely. All right, so now that we've got this all set up, we've got our first coat on, and we went ahead and applied a second coat already. So this will be actually our third coat. So again, don't do this for a customer's part, but to test it, we can clearly see it is flashed off and it is a little bit dry. Now again, I don't want to actually touch it, but I can stripe my finger across it. It's not making any marks. So therefore we're ready to go ahead and apply another coat, which would be our third and final coat. Now again, on every coat before I go to spray, I do the exact same thing like I was doing before. I'm going to shake it up really well, and I'm also going to spray it out just to make sure that everything works and everything looks good before I start my final spray. And so the other thing is as I was saying, you don't want to touch this. So maybe if you already have it up right here, you can apply and touch maybe something like right in here. But of course, because this is just a test piece, it's a sample that we had dipped for just playing around. We don't really care about this, but of course on a customer's part, definitely do not go like this right here on it. Definitely test on another spot or another area that is not the actual part itself. So now that everything is flashed off and we're ready for the third and final coat, let's go ahead, shake this up, and then make sure everything's spraying really well. And then we'll do the exact same thing like what we did before. We're going to come in and then apply everything in a nice, smooth, even coat all the way through. Now, as you can clearly see, we've got a really good glassed out look all the way through there, which is what we want. We want that good coverage, but then as you can see, it will slowly start to die back to a more flatter sheen. Now, once we have all of this finished, now one thing to definitely make sure of is that once we have everything all sprayed and everything's ready to go, we do want to go ahead and purge out the tip of this can, mainly because this is clear coat and it is going to, of course, dry, and we don't want anything to dry into the tip itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this upside down, not being anywhere around the parts that we sprayed, but we just want to take that and hold that like that and kind of purge that out just like that. And so once we've got that purged out like that, then we're ready to go. And now we can continue to use it for a second, third, fourth time, and then we can continue to use it each time that we purge it out after we're all said and done. So once we've got that, now we can let that sit, let it flash, let it dry. Most of the time I recommend letting it sit overnight just to make sure that everything is fully cured out and ready to go for the customer or for the project that you're finishing up. So hopefully this video has really helped you guys out. Of course, as you can clearly see, the dead flat aerosol has its place in the hydrographics community, as well as if you're just starting out and you're not wanting to invest all of the money into the air compressors and the paint guns and everything like that, but you do want a good quality finish. This is definitely something to take a look at and to definitely keep in mind, because as you can clearly see from the valve cover that we've sprayed, it turned out really great. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. It's got that dead flat look, which is exactly what we wanted. And when applied correctly, it is still a great finish to put on most everything that you have. If you're interested in this or anything else in the hydrographics industry, definitely check out the links in the description below. We're gonna have links for the website that's going to have everything from the dead flat aerosol, even other aerosols for your paints, your primers, and even clear coats from gloss to flat and everything in between. Even if you're looking for films or activator or even training for the hydrographics, it is all there on the website, so definitely check that out. If you like the video, hit that like button. We'd always love to have you do that, so that way YouTube knows that this is a great video to recommend to other people that are interested in things just like this. If you're interested in more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. We'd always love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips on anything hydrographics related. I'm Brian from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.